Hey, everybody, how are you? This is John Farr, and we're doing a webinar today, and this is called Rescuing Single Location Tanning Salons. And I have two marvelous people with me, not the lady over on the right, that's just a graphic that we use. But first, over on the left is Mario. And Mario, I have probably mispronounced your name on a few occasions. How do you pronounce your last name correctly?
Uh, Depends what part of Italy you're from.
Okay,
Uh,
Vuto, Mario Vuto,
Voto,
mangia,
yeah.
mangia.
I pronounce it Viuato.
Vioato. Oh, I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kristen and I were just talking about. I was telling her about my German ancestry and German names. The German language can be at times so guttural, and Italian and French are such pretty names. They're pretty languages. They just kind of flow off the tongue. And one of the analogies I like to use is the way that the French refer to butterfly as les papillons, and the Germans refer to as das Schmetterling. Where did they come up with this language? Anyway, Italians have a beautiful language. Anyway, so Viotto, you pronounce it Viotto?
Yeah, Viuato.
Vioatto.
Viuotto. The
So
way
just
it's the way it's spelled.
actually, it's phonetically, yeah. We have a
Right.
teacher on the phone here, so I've got to get this right. And speaking of our teacher, our other speaker on the phone is Kristen Smithers. And Kristen, it's wonderful to have you here again today. Um, for those of you that have not seen these two before, they are single salon owners that have done a marvelous jobs, not only on past webinars with me, but in their salons. And Mario, beside being very successful a single salon owner, you have not seen the full picture of him, but as I have said in the past, Mario could probably bench press a Volkswagen. He's rather muscular, uh, looks like the Hulk or something. I know maybe not that extreme, but he's pretty muscular. And Kristen, I don't know. I think Kristen, you're not only a great salon owner, but I think you're maybe one of the prettiest salon owners I've had on my webinar. So, uh,
Thank you.
Mario, you're a great looking guy, but Kristen gets it for looks. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that, John. Thank you.
Yes, I know.
And I
Okay,
second that about you.
you second. Okay.
Good.
So anyway, we're going to be talking about Kristen in a minute here and her Sunny Shores Tanning, and we'll be talking about Mario and his owner of Love Your Tan, two very successful salons. But the theme of today is rescuing your salon. And I'm going to give you guys some statistics I have shared, I think, with both you off camera here over the last few days. It's kind of frightening as it relates to single salons, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But since we're talking about the theme of rescue, I want to talk to you about rescued dogs. My wife and I, we rescued two golden retrievers back many, many years ago. And unfortunately, Bailey, we lost. It's terrible. We lost her last June to cancer. She was 14 and a half. We still have the other one we rescued, Gracie, Cassie, I should say. Cassie's sitting over here now. I'm sure eventually she's going to come over under my desk and sit on both of my feet, which is golden retrievers make great feet warmers. Well, anyway, so in July, or in late June, we rescued two more dogs. One was 3, one was 4. Was the mother of the other dog. We didn't have them home. We rescued them in Louisville. We live in northern Kentucky, about an hour and a half away. We didn't have these two new dogs home for 5 hours. And the dog you see there with the crooked picture there, her name was Baby Girl, what they had named her. She got out of her leash and was gone for 20 days. So for 20 days, we were putting up posts all over the neighborhood. We had our neighbor across the street that had a Google map that was showing where all of the sightings of this dog was. 20 days. I don't know how she survived because she's afraid of fireworks. And of course, we went through the 4th of July and she was out there with, well, we thought with no food and water, but around us is all woods. So there was water and whatever. Anyway, it was horrible for my wife and I. Um, After 20 days, you think you're actually going to get the dog back. But I guess the way I want to say this, after a lot of posts and a lot of prayers, we got Gracie back. And so my wife and I decided that her name, which was Baby Girl, we got her back by Grace. So now her name is Grace or Gracie. and she's sitting over here now, one of the more spoiled rescue dogs on the planet, along with her son Bombo, and they're just wonderful dogs. And I know you guys are dog lovers, and people that may be listening to this are dog lovers. So I wanted to chat about that because what we're talking about today is rescuing your single salon and rescuing it now. Some of the things I've shared with Kristen and Mario, and they have shared with me, it is just amazing to me how many single salons are in trouble, and there's reasons why they are. But before we go into that, let's go into some of the unique challenges that owners of single salons face. And of course, they also have some unique advantages and what they should do about pricing and marketing to get their tanners to their salon. This is, of course, the story about two single salon locations who I've introduced you to so far. And when your salon revenue vitals tells you your location needs a doctor. And I talk about vitals with people that bring numbers to me or bring their concerns with me all the time because a few years back, somebody nicknamed me the salon doctor. And so just like going to the doctor, you need certain vitals. And and what does it really cost to get professional help? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And don't be afraid of the cost because you're going to get your money back quickly, which our people, our two single salon owners on here will tell you about. And the hint about all of this is you should choose an expert who does tanning salons all the time. This is all I do. I don't sell anything else. I don't sell direct mail programs or I don't sell anything. I'm not trying to sell you lotions. I'm not trying to sell you equipment. I'm trying to sell you success and trying to help you rescue your salon. Okay, and just a quick little story here and a quick little aside here about the Vault. It's $39.95 a month. It is a subscriber paid portion of my website. It has 20,000 pages of information in there on how to make your salon and your staff successful. We have 58 or 59 webinars on there. And by the way, all of this content sometimes is maybe, I don't know how much people use it because I think it's sometimes too much, as the numbers, the vitals I was asking for, Kristen, thank you, pointed out to me, I was asking for like 12 numbers and it's too much. People just need something more simplistic. So we'll show you that in a minute. And of course, if you're a member of the Vault, you can download any of my books on there. This one is on motivation. And my background, some of you know, some of you don't know, I was in corporate America for many years, working for Fortune 500 companies, including CBS Records, as you can see behind me, a lot of the mementos of my career in the record industry. If you are a fan of music from the 70s and the 80s, I was involved in it and involved with the groups. It was wonderful. And then I got recruited over to run the entertainment division for Target stores, where I was director of marketing and operations. And that helped me to know how to analyze numbers. I would never have been as good as I think I am with analyzing salon numbers had I not worked for Target for 5 years, because they really taught me how to do financial analysis. And of course, all the other great stuff to impress you with in the background, including an MBA in HR management. Okay, we got to get going here. So some of the challenges and opportunities of single salon owners, challenges. One of the challenges I think that single salon owners have is respect from industry leaders. I don't like it sometimes. I think our industry is gravitating over to too many people holding too much power in this business. You have got these mega chains and mega companies, largest distributor, whatever. You got all this going on. But I will tell you that we have also advantages, which we'll talk about in a minute here. There's one of the challenges is programs and larger discounts given to larger chains. If you guys knew what some of these larger chains paid for equipment when equipment was being sold as new equipment, say through Ergoline and some of the other companies, you would be aghast at the discounts that they get, or that they're still getting. Large chain ad budgets that can't be matched. And some of you that are going to be on this webinar, you're looking in a market where you've got a single salon and there's your competitor has got 8, and they can afford to advertise maybe on television and radio. But remember that we are still a business that attracts customers from a 3 to 5 mile range. So We're still a neighborhood business. And I'll drop down, you can read the rest of them. That's the last point I make on this page. Neighborhood marketing of single salons can be on a personal basis. And there's no question in my mind that the two owners on this call, Mario and Kristen, have a lot of interaction with customers. Mario works a lot of shifts, and I know Kristen does too. And you have the advantage of having hands-on with your customers that a lot of these large chains don't. They turn their salons and their this chain over to people that they hire that maybe aren't the best decision of who they should hire, just because they're trying to fill slots and shifts and management positions. And are these people really passionate about tanning? The two people that are on this call, Mario and Kristen, and many others, single salon owners as well, are passionate about their call or about their customers. But that last comment that I've got on this slide here is that one of the problems we have, if I can get my slide to work here, okay, is that some owners are just scared of change, suffering what we call inertia. And inertia, if you go to the definition of it, is, and look at point number 1, a tendency to do nothing or remain unchanged. And listen, I don't know, Kristen, if you had much in the way of inertia, because you contacted me pretty soon after you bought that salon. Mario, you hesitated for a while, but once you heard, what we could do, whatever, your inertia was gone. But a lot of these people with the graphic there on the right still have their heads in the sand. And I'm going to give you some information right now to kind of verify that head in the sand, or what I call very frightening numbers. And this is something I shared with, I believe it was with both of you yesterday. And this is kind of crazy. Since December 1st, 2019 to January 15th of this year, I was contacted and sent request for consulting or consulting interviews for 41 single salons, and of course chains too, but 41 single salons wanted to get help. And of those, only 14 submitted the vitals that I'd asked for, because I can't do anything as a doctor. I can't do anything unless I know blood pressure, and we have a blood test, and whatever the things that doctors do. Well, and Kristen, again, I thank Kristen, because I was asking for, I think, 12 vitals before, and it was too many. And so I cut it down to the 5 that you see below there on the screen in the lower left. And it's really kind of simple stuff. But when you think that 41, and Kristen, I'm asking for your comment here. You were looking at the forums. Actually, Mario, you've looked at the forums too, where people get on these forums and they're talking about how desperate they are, and they're thinking they might have to close their salon and they're going out of business. Right? You guys have seen those comments?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's almost sickening, isn't it? Sometimes it makes me feel terrible. And I think, Kristen, you had said it yesterday, that these were their dreams.
Yeah.
They wanted to get in. Kristen, I'll stop talking. You go ahead and talk. Tell me what you've seen when you've seen the forum conversations.
To see them at that last straw, completely desperate for help, for any suggestions to get sales flowing or people through the door, they're at their last, I think I'm going to close, or I need to do something to change, I'm going to sell. And all those years, all that money, they're just saying, I'm done, I got to give up. And it breaks my heart.
Yeah. I think, Mario, I think we can hear you on the phone. Sorry. Anyway, so Mario's taking care of a customer, which, by the way, webinar or not, for any of us on this call, customers are still the most important. Okay. So, but, and, back to Kristen, what you said.
Sometimes I put it by my neck a little, just so it doesn't look like I'm like red and then white. And I feel like I can real red.
Well, this is real world. This is a customer talking to Mario about, apparently doesn't want to be real red or something. I'm not sure what he said, but anyway, but of the 41 single salon requests, you go back to your comment, Kristen, about heartbreaking. Of the 41, 6 had said to me, "You are my last hope." And of the six, I physically actually talked to four of the six. I called them. I called them within a couple hours of getting that request, and I said, "Please, don't close." And remember, these requests came in December. I wish they would have come in August or September. They came in December, and the peak season is like right around the corner. And I said, don't throw in the towel now. Here, we can do some things that'll help your EFT program if you have an EFT program. And by the way, here's another statistic, which I didn't have room on the screen to show you. But of the 41 Salon requests, there was 11 in there that had not sold their first EFT. Wow. And as we all know, I mean, that's the escalator to the stars if you have an EFT program. But you see down the bottom, this is the numbers that we look at. Total Salon overall revenues. That's no big deal, right? For two 12-month periods. Why don't I see 2018, 2019? 2 annual EFT dollars if they have EFT. Total annual lotion revenues. Very simple stuff. I think any software that's out there. And speaking of that, Kristen, your software is at which software is yours again?
TanLink, and I believe Mario has that as well.
I think Mario does too. At the end, the people that are watching, we're going to go through a TanLink screenshot that I want to talk to you about. Not that I'm necessarily selling a TanLink; they're about as good, I think, as anybody out there. But the important thing is to use that data from a selling perspective. And then, of course, total individual TANs, and then total number of unique or individual clients. So it's just those 5 numbers. Thank you, Kristen, for that motivation. Just those 5. And of those people, of those 41, only 14 would send those numbers in, or 34%. It says to me that 66% of those 41 are in some kind of trouble. Okay, moving on here. And of course, your tanning business won't get better unless you do something about it. Whether you come to me or you come to somebody else that hopefully knows what they're talking about. My number's up there. I love what Albert Einstein said, insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Because for those of you that did not get your numbers back, or those that had not gone on to get some advice of how to do things, the question you have to ask yourself is, if your salon's in trouble now, where is your salon going to be 3 months from now? Or you go through the peak season without changing things. All right, so let's get to my guests on here, because here are 2 single salon owners who weren't insane, as Einstein's description, and what were the turning points of their business. Mario, are you back online with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we call this Mario's story. This is going to Hollywood, Mario. We're going to make a B movie out of this. You're going to be a movie star. All right, so Mario, talk to us. What led you to consulting? You were one of those salons and you thought, I don't know if I want to close this puppy or if I want to liquidate it, whatever. And you turned the corner. You weren't guilty of inertia. You said, you got off your butt and you said, I'm not going to let this thing go down. So I'm talking about, of course, the September 2018 phone conference. But let's, honestly, I am going to shut up. Tell us your story. How you've been in, by the way, you've been in the business longer than I've been in for 30 years. You've been in it longer than I have, haven't you?
Yeah, I got in it in 1985.
Good Lord in heaven.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I'm going to shut up.
I say that to myself every day.
Well, tell us the Mario story, because we have film directors watching your comments right now.
Well, to be honest, I got to the point where I think I was just burnt out. And like you said about inertia, I was doing the same thing over and over again, or what your other leader said. Yeah. I needed to make a change. It was either going to go out to leave the business or to make a change more positively. And after speaking with you, I decided to go with the more positive side of it and turn the thing around. I didn't want to, not that I was a failure. I'd been in the business for 30-something years, but I didn't want to go out that way. So we discussed if I wanted to sell the place, but I needed to turn it around and make it more successful. I was, to the point where I was breaking even. I just needed to make some more money. So I went from, you know, with your help, with your emails and your marketing, and I took it to another level, as JR would say.
Well,
And
here, Mario, let me take them to, this was your original price sheet, and this is something that you and I had to work on. We wanted to, and I always said, by the way, I've told other people too, by the way, Mario, your ears must be ringing. I said the original graphic that Mario gave me with the lady walking into the water, I thought was an excellent graphic. I really, really liked it, and I did not make any suggestions to you to change that in any way because I thought you already had a winner with that. What we needed to do, I thought, was just you know, clean it up just a little bit so we had information on there showing selling tans and putting in there emphasizing on a price per session. So do you want to comment on that a little bit?
yeah, it was too busy. There was too many options that people had, and they couldn't really see the value they were getting. So we condensed it a little bit. We took out some stuff that was maybe too much for people to understand and made it simpler. And when people see the fact that you per session or per day, or however you break it down, 12 sessions per month, this is what it would be. It's like, wow, that's not that expensive when you compare it to like a cup of coffee at Starbucks. So
absolutely. Well, the other thing too, Mario, is that if you look at the price sheets, and if everyone can see my cursor here, what you do, the way to do a price sheet is you have it vertical and horizontal. So you've got your different levels of tanning up here. And so vertically, when the customer goes down, they see, well, if I buy a single session, it's 15, 10 sessions, going to be $9.90 a session. And assuming 12 sessions, either on a 30-day or an EFT, look at how the price drops, and they keep going down, and looking how that price drops as the customer commits more. 3-month membership on EFT, 6-month, whatever, and it does it at each level. Now, the thing that is really cool about this, let's say they buy a 30-day and they're paying $4.91 a session at Love Your Tan. When they come back in, if they've never tried a gold bed and they do try the gold bed, then the comment that can be made to them, well, if you really like that, it's only another $1.67 per session. For you to switch from your silver to your gold. And that's the thing that we do all the time, is when we train employees, or when I give in-house webinars to employees, I'm saying, look, this is what you got to do, is tell the customer, if you like that gold bed, boy, if you really like that diamond bed, it's not really that much more than what you're paying right now on a per session basis. So it's vertically and horizontally, and as you used it, you made the comment, Mario, we kind of cleaned it up a little bit so it wasn't quite as busy. Now you also have, this is your spray membership, and that's the thing too that I've emphasized with people, is try to put your UV and your spray on separate sheets, because typically they are separate customers. It's not a bad idea to maybe throw in a spray on the UV side for that cocktail option, or to increase the perceived value of the EFT. But so, Mario, talk to us about your spray here, because it's a fascinating graphic what you've got there, and it's what it does. When I look at that graphic, it just says, why, upsell, upsell. It's all over the place. But chat a little bit about your spray slide here.
well, actually, John, I've kind of changed it a little bit.
That's okay. You can
I'm
go
going
ahead.
more towards a an overall or VIP, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay,
I include the spray tanning it also, because I've looked at other salons, and they're all doing the same thing. They're including everything for one price. So I included my right now I'm doing $59 a month for the unlimited spray tans, which is basically 4. But if you want to include it for $79, I include it in my sapphire level. So
Okay.
I figure I give people more of a value, and it's selling more sapphire memberships without them either using one or the other.
How many months do they commit to staying on that sapphire membership?
I don't have any commitment anymore.
Okay.
I dropped the commitment. I do have a sign-up fee. I waive it if they purchase a bottle of lotion, which works probably 90% of the time.
Gotcha.
And they end up staying. If they don't stay, they freeze. Where they used to cancel, now they freeze. I give them back. I give them the $5 back for each month they freeze towards a purchase, lotion or a packet or whatever they want when they come back. This way they have a value when they come back in, and they don't just leave me and go off in another salon.
Well, there's a lot of fascinating things about what you just said, Mario. You look at this slide and you see there's a lot of options in here. And when you said that there is a trend toward doing what you're talking about, a VIP, and that is true. There are some salons that like the freedom of being able to upsell, but from a practical point of view, I think what you're suggesting is probably makes more sense, because those salons that want to sell in terms of upgrading for a moisturizer or a bronzer or double dip or whatever, that sounds great if you, the owner, are impassioned about it and you're the one that's handling the customer. But unfortunately, we have people that are working for us, and a lot of times they don't get into that whole upselling, and they're selling the basic spray tan. And so, no, I'm showing this graphic. I'm glad I showed it and for you to explain what you're doing, because it makes a lot of sense. Matter of fact, if you don't mind, Mario, sometimes you get a chance, send me a screenshot of your new pricing, because I'd love to see that. But the point of it is, what you did is you took your salon and your salon pricing to a whole different level, and it's made a significant difference. And what I'm going to do here, if you're okay with it, are you still okay with me talking about how much you've increased your business? Are you okay with that?
Not for sure.
Okay, all right, because I've got in my database, I've got 473 individual tanning salon businesses data in our database, and I don't share it with anybody unless a Mario comes along and says, well, I'd like to inspire other single salons, so I'll show my numbers. All right, so here's what we talked about. This is what Mario and I talked about. $950 it cost him for each of 2 months. So it's $1,900 that Mario invested. And what we gave him was a comprehensive analysis of your Love Your Tan revenue streams, the Salon Vitals, direction and execution for EFT strategy, overall package pricing plan, EFT consumer, employee presentation graphics, marketing and upselling planning, and possible HR strategies. Now, I say possible. Mario has, I think, just a couple employees, but you never know. There may be an issue there, and he may want to talk to me about compensation and incentives and that sort of thing. So on the bottom, from Mario's investment of $1,900 in consultant fees, he increased his salon sales 68. Is that the right number? 68,000? Am I off a penny or two there? I can't remember.
It's close.
That's close. Okay.
Very close.
Yeah. So, and the thing about it is we have to remember in this business that every dollar you put up on the top line, you got 85 to 90 cents you can do something with, because your variable cost it's nothing. It's 50, 60 cents for, say, a UV tan. Okay, so let's talk now about Mrs. Smithers, Kristen Smithers, salon owner, Sunny Shores. Kristen, are you still there, or did Mario?
Yeah, I'm here. No, I'm more awake than ever. Did you want me to turn my video on?
Your what on? I'm sorry.
And you want me to do webcam, or do you just want me to look at the phone?
Can you put your camera on so people can see your lovely face?
Maybe, if my internet was to work, right?
Well, if you can't, okay. They've already seen the pictures of you, but it would be nice to have you on.
I've got beach-colored hair now, so it's totally different strategy.
If you can't, that's okay. We can talk about your story, and you can tell people what you went through. It's entirely up to you.
Was in a 2-week bind to buy the salon assets of the company that I managed for 2.5 years.
You managed that salon, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, gotcha.
We scrounged up everything to get the down payment for the assets, and knowing the previous owners owners lost about 12,000 for 2018, I knew I needed to do something because I had no extra money to not make a profit.
Oh, good point.
I was desperate. I mean, I was desperate right off the bat. I contacted you less than a month after I took over, and we ended up doing 50% more revenue in 10 and a half months than the previous owner's entire fiscal year before that. So something worked.
Well, I think if I may interject here, I think, Kristen, one of the things that worked, same thing for you and Mario, is that you guys had a passion for this business. But, all the things, all the guidance that somebody like myself would give you doesn't mean anything if you don't execute. Mario executed what we talked about. He got it done. And you executed it beautifully. So you guys did it. I mean, I just, try to be a coach, and directions. And let me show, this was your original pricing sheet. Is this what it was when the previous owner had it?
No, that's actually condensed down from what was prior.
Okay. Well, if you look at this, one of the things that's on here, if I remember correctly, when I first talked about, there's something like 45 or 50 different prices on here. There's so much language on here. I can't remember, but there's so much on here. And I think we both decided we need to trim it down a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what we ended up with. And what's good is you've got the icons of the equipment across the top. And now, did you end up, Kristen, did you end up putting your spray on a separate page, or did you always keep it on here?
I ended up putting it on a different page, and I'll be completely honest, I think I've changed it like 3 times over this past year, and now I actually have everything on our website. The EFTs are listed first.
Okay.
But it's a little bit more condensed now than what even that is.
Okay.
Because I've learned less is more.
Well, the point of it is, and again, what you did here, talking about the vertical and horizontal thing here, you're showing the customer as the price decreases as you go into commitment and with each level. So, your salespeople have got the same opportunity when you're talking about your 3-month club, going from level 1 to your combo. I mean, you go from 291 to 375. That means that if I'm on a 3-month, and per session, I'm only paying 84 cents more to move up to level 2. And that's the thing that's really important and that's the other thing too about your pricing here, is your pricing has very easy increments, 35, 45, 55, 65. They're only $10 jumps to get up to higher equipment. And people watching this call, what you have to remember is that this higher equipment is where we want people to be, not just from a fiscal point of view, making money, but also because the better the equipment they get into, the more bonded they are into your salon than they would be, say, on the lower level, where maybe all the time this is just a cheap price football, whatever. Hello. I say, okay, Kristen, go ahead. Keep talking, because me, I've got, I think I was vaccinated as a child with a phonograph needle, so I keep talking. So anyway.
I don't have the fanciest equipment in the world, and I knew that going into it, and our goal is obviously this year to add some new higher end equipment to get people in those more levels. We've added things like massage chairs and red lights, and that's really helped that upper level, and we've made it so the upper level in the club is cheaper than a month in the base, and my price scheme has changed, so I can't even look at these and tell you what the numbers are now because I've played around with them. They're more than what this is, but I didn't let the fact that I had older beds discourage me, because the people coming in, they're getting color, and that's all that matters. And I offer them so many different options, but at the same time, easy choices between a month or an 8-session or a 30-day pass. Or we've got this club that gives you all this perks that you can freeze. And I do what Mario does. I immediately put their freezes back into their account. It automatically comes out. The software does it for me, and people are loyal to us for it.
Well, speaking of your software too, let me do this. I'm going to switch over here for a second here. I want to talk about software. There you are. This is the first time I've seen you because I've been shooting my mouth off here. And so your lovely face. Hold on here a second. Let me see if I can get over because I couldn't. Come on, you. Hold on here. Okay, let me get over here to the software that you sent me earlier. Okay. All right. So now you can see that, can you?
I can.
Okay. So Kristen, now here's the reason I wanted to look at what Kristen had here because it is, in my opinion, it's one of the most powerful selling tools that you can have for your people, and that is the history of the tanner. So why don't you go ahead and walk me through this, Kristen? This is a picture of your salon, I take it right here.
Yeah, that's our front showroom, and that's a fairly recent picture because we update them as they come in.
Okay.
But this is the breakdown of what a client has spent, but you can always go back and see what they purchased last and when they purchased it last. Now, there's other screens that you can go to that will show in a daily breakdown, this person has never bought lotion. This person bought lotion 3 months ago. This person just bought a bottle of Fortune yesterday. And it helps us better equip myself when I'm there, so I don't need to go through a bunch of records. And it helps my girls who love to sell lotions for the commissions. They're like, oh, you just got that luau 2 months ago. Are you towards the end of the bottle? Let's get you something new or something better. Yeah.
And this also, if you see my cursor, now this is showing where they, and again, I apologize to our audience. This is not I don't have this as, oh, here, maybe that helps a little bit. Okay, so, so this is showing the sessions that they used. Am I reading that right?
So she has just the base level. She has access to our level 1. So it will show there on the 3rd level that she can get into any of those levels. But the other ones she would need to upgrade to get into. But it reminds us to, hey, we do have a VIP open. Let's get you in there. She always. What was that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
So this will show us that she has unlimited access of the base level. And if she wants to do a higher level, which we always say, we do have a VIP open, our stand-ups open. Did you want to upgrade? She always upgrades to the next level.
Okay.
But everything is just right there. And being able to know any software that you have to be able to pinpoint what their history is. If you just say, oh, I see you're going in the base today, go have fun. You miss that opportunity of looking at her history and saying, oh, she upgraded to the facial. Let's at least sell her another upgrade.
Yep. So if I start up here, walk-in member, this is the last tan that she had, which is on the 23rd of January, right? She upgraded, it looks like, to a level 2 because she's got unlimited in level 1. We know that she upgraded to a level 2 with facials, 15 minutes. What's MTH? Is that month, 2 months, 18 days?
Yeah, she bought a bottle of lotion 2 months and 18 days ago, and it starts showing red after 2 months because if somebody's a frequent tanner, most likely they'll be due for a new bottle of lotion.
Absolutely, and if again, this is for a salesperson. If you don't look at this, you're not only hurting the salon, but you're hurting your own commissions because it's right there. You can see where they're tanning. Now, does this tell me this level 1 how long she's been tanning in this level 1?
It shows when she's bought it. So she bought a Black Friday deal. No, she just bought a year. So it shows she bought a year on the 3rd of December, and then she'll have until next year to use it.
Oh, this is an annual that she bought? Oh, okay, because I see the date here. Okay, it's smaller. Okay, so she bought an annual. Now, if she wanted to upgrade, when she buys upgrades, what if she wanted to upgrade to your level 2? Could she pay an upgraded fee for the whole year, or of course it's more likely she's just going to buy single upgrades, I guess.
Yeah, and we actually get a lot of people that do that. You can't click on the screenshot, but account changes. You would just upgrade the membership, and it would charge the fee to upgrade the package. So she could do that.
In-store account, she spent $191, which is probably her annual that she bought, right?
Her annual is hidden underneath that yellow circle. There's a total purchase amount there.
Okay.
I can't see it on my end, but that's just in-store account money that has added into her account that she uses to
Okay.
pay for upgrades.
Now this over here in the lower right, this is showing the days that she's been in.
Yes.
Okay. And what is this telling me right here? Because I can't
Who
read it.
put her in?
Oh, this is the person that waited on her.
Yep, those are my managers, and then me somewhere in there. You can see I'm
I
not
see
there
your
as
name.
often as
Yes.
the girls.
Yep, I see your name there. And this again is the minutes in the bed that they were in, she was in.
Yeah, which room, which bed, and it
Okay.
helps if like the last bed I was in, there was a lamp out. We can go in and check, so we can
Okay.
fix it.
Good. Okay. All right. And so again, I think the important thing, what I want to bring up is that single salons have a big advantage over big chains because the owners and the key people are so much more wired into it. You don't have to worry about them divorcing themselves from corporate, but this is a great selling tool. And that's what I find when I've looked at videos for clients that I've had, where we've looked at videos of salon salespeople in there and what they're doing. They may be on this, instead of really taking care of the customer. But this is a great, any software should be able to tell them where the level that they're tanning in, or the last time that they bought a lotion, and it's just a great setup for them to do some upselling. So, okay, so I wanted to do that. What else do you want to? Other things you want to talk about? Because you're using this. This is Tantrac.
Tan Link.
Tanlink. I'm sorry. I'm old and
It's okay.
senile. Or Tanlink. What other? Since you use Tanlink and Mario does too. Mario, you back on with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. What do you guys see are the advantages of a Tanlink over, say, some of the other softwares? Again, not necessarily to sell one or the other, but what do you see as the advantages with Tanlink?
Well, I like the fact that I can automatically text somebody if their EFT doesn't go through. They get a message saying that we couldn't charge your credit card. Here's a link to update your credit card.
Good.
And they can automatically do it without having any, what you would call, not confrontation, but they don't come in embarrassed or not come in at all. So they have the option to do it online or on their phone. I'm connected to MailChimp, so when we put the emails in, it automatically downloads their email into MailChimp. I don't have to download anything. It's just such a user-friendly program. It was developed by a person who owns tanning salons, so he knows. Not like I used to use Sunlight. They were what do you call those? They're computer program writers. They weren't familiar with how tanning salons ran. This guy runs a tanning salon with his own program, and every week or every day, it just seems like something new is coming out that this program does, which I'm not even up on half the stuff it does.
Well, let me go to Kristen because I think she might be a really real up on it, and talking to her. Kristen, let me ask you about Mario mentioned they're coming out with new stuff all the time. What's your opinion of the back office of this? I mean, is it really good at coming up with per tan averages and lotion averages and that kind of thing? Easy to get to?
Yeah, on the main homepage, which is not on here, right in the corner, you'll have a ticker that updates real life the last 30 days for you, your salon, each member, lotion averages, membership, sell rates, products per customer, your overall PCAs, things like that. It's right there. It's got, I don't know, there's so many reports on there that I haven't even fished through. But yeah, it's very easily. The one employee analysis form tells me the numbers exactly that I need to know to give my girls their bonuses that they love. And everything in there, it's automatic. You don't need to fumble around with so many numbers and programming and things like that. So the automatic feature of it is very nice. But all of the numbers that you wanted from me in the beginning, my old software, I don't know. I can't give you those numbers. I'm sorry. This one, I have all those numbers and then some, which helps me so I know where to go with my business plan.
How about unique tanners, individual customers? Does it show that too?
Yeah, you'll actually get a daily report with all those numbers in it.
Yeah, every night, John, we get I get mine at 9 o'clock at night. I get a daily report on how the business did that day compared to last year, actual from the date, from that day, from the beginning of the year compared to last year at the same time. And it comes to me in an email. Oh, actually, I'm like, yeah, in an email. And you look at it every night and you go, okay, we had a pretty good day, or you know exactly where you stand from the year before. You don't have to do anything. It's there.
Well, I hate to show my ignorance, guys, but I am so happy that we're talking about this. I didn't know. Honestly, I'm not making this up. I obviously haven't looked at software for a while. I didn't know that it is that sophisticated because some of that stuff I was asking people like Sunlink and a few others to do. Now, maybe they have it. Maybe I'm ignorant of it, but that's great stuff what you guys are telling me, that those numbers are so easy. Because I tell you, when I was talking about those 41 people that requested consulting, one of the biggest problems they had, and that's why Kristen and I took your lead and taking it down only to those 5 numbers, because they just couldn't. Well, and maybe that's like you said, Kristen, you couldn't either back, when you and I start working together. So this is, wow, I'm impressed. I'm wondering if I shouldn't get a hold of Tanlink and do a webinar with them about, analyzing numbers, because they could probably give me all the pages, both for the transaction to start with here and then also the back office, because that's fascinating stuff. Wow.
Yeah, my number side is very happy with it because I can always access it and I know what's going on when. And for me, I have 4 children. I don't need to live at my salon, so that one helps dramatically. I got this off the computer this morning and sent it to you. So
another thing that I like is the fact that I can sit on my phone anywhere I'm at and watch what's happening in my store, not through a camera. I'm talking about what's going on the register. So whatever this shows you right here is we can see on our phones. And so all day long, I'm calling my store. I'm like, why did you sell that person that instead of this? So I can correct them on the spot instead of have to wait till the next time I see them.
Guys, this is a little aside from it. You're telling me this, and I'm really impressed by this. I have to tell you a quick story. Back in October, a client of mine wanted to buy another salon, a competitive salon. It's been around for years. All of their transactions were done with a card system, no computer.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, when we did the negotiation, we paid them almost nothing for the salon. I think we paid them more for the customer list or converting all the cards, into a customer list, because Lord, and then they try to tell us what their revenues were, and of course, I could only guess that their revenues were probably more than what they were telling us, because since it's all cash, who knows what they're reporting, So, okay, well, guys, it's been great. Let me move on to the next thing. This is good stuff. I'm impressed with this. This is wonderful. Okay, so kind of a wrapping up on marketing. There's some marketing opportunities that single salons will hit me with, and here's the ones that in my 50 years of marketing, I say actually do not work. And one is newspapers. Now, if you can get on their digital version, maybe, I don't know. But in most cases, newspapers are it's not yesterday's marketing approach. It's 25, 30 years ago. Yellow Pages, again, I don't know if their digital version makes sense or not, but Yelp, I do not like Yelp. Maybe some people are going to watch this have had good success with Yelp. I call it extortion advertising, because if you're not paying Yelp, and if somebody from Yelp is watching this presentation, they may not like what I'm saying, but I've had some experience with Yelp, and I thought it was terrible. Athletic field signs, if you want to buy, if you say your salon supports the local soccer team, whatever, if you want to take money and you want to throw it away, it might make you feel good to buy a soccer field or a T-ball field sign or whatever. If that's what you want, then buy it because you want to feel good. Mailing aggregators like Valpak, it's crazy. We have real hard research on Valpak or mail aggregators that can show you that an enormous percentage of that stuff never sees the light of day. with the consumer. It gets thrown in the trash. Unless, of course, someone's looking for a pizza coupon, which you can get, by the way, from the pizza place. You can get it from Pizza Hut without even having the coupon. You just have to ask the kid for it. Grocery store receipt ads, entertainment books. Again, if you want to buy an entertainment book that a local Cub Scout troop is doing and it makes you feel good, great. But you're never going to get out of it and what you're investing into it. Or employee market handouts. Now, employee market handouts are where you tell your employees that they're required to go out and hand out free tan certificates to other businesses around. I'm telling you, most of the time, when those people get that, it goes right into the trash. But, you know, those are the ones that just usually don't work. The ones that do work, of course, social media. And I've been harping on it for years here, that only 20% of your posts should be about tanning. The rest of it should be about building an audience. Women's issues, community, staff, family, dogs, cats. I'll tell you, JR and Mario, I think Mario, you may have said this to me. JR, I think he said he puts his dogs in his emails or his Facebook. I don't know that I've seen him with his dogs or whatever, but he talks about it that dogs, I mean, when we've done, I know we've done cutest dog contest on Facebook, we get huge response. And I could actually show you the, you guys could see my camera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to see a rescue dog that's comfortable?
Oh,
That's
Great.
Bombo. That's
look at
Bombo.
him.
What's that?
Look at him.
Yeah, I know, that's Bombo. I hate to, I hope I'm not, no, he seems like he's pretty comfortable. That's Cassie over there. That's the older gal. And this is Gracie, the one that was running for 20 nights. She seems
Oh,
to be
look at his
comfortable right
bed.
now, too. Yeah. So, you know, that's the thing. I think we're all dog lovers. So, you know, if you want to, you put that, and that's one of the things I haven't done. And John Ribner, who does a lot of my Facebook posts, and I think he works with Mario too, he's been bugging me that I need to do more stuff with the pictures of my dogs in it, because that's what people can identify with. And when you're building an audience, you want them to identify with you. Putting out post after post about discounts on lotions or, you know, Super Tuesday or whatever, more than 20%, even Zuckerberg himself that created Facebook will tell you that, look at, don't do more than 20% because it turns people off. Groupon, I mentioned Groupon in here for a single salon. I don't recommend that at all during the peak season, maybe in the off-peak season, but I think most of the time, Groupon, it's kind of a desperation thing. You're giving away a lot of margin. If you want to develop some traffic, and I'm a guy that worked with Groupon going back to 2010, shortly before the tan tax hit us. Email, of course, email can be very powerful if it's not done too often, and if the offers that are on there are compelling. And again, if you're throwing a dog picture, it probably helps. Texts are good for sense of urgency offers. Radio could be effective in a market depending upon the market. And in the vault, I've got 2 or 3 webinars in there, how to buy radio effectively. And of course, employee Facebook and Instagram. Now, if you can get employees to also put out on their Facebook, I work at Sunny Shores or I work at Love Your Tan. And listen, you guys, we got a special coming up next week or whatever it is that could expand, you know, your reach. And that's not the worst thing, although you can't require your employees to do it. And single salon owners selling opportunities. You know, your goal, create a powerful EFT strategy in 2020, create a plan for aiding the sales of EFT through customer perception of value. What we do a lot of times with when we set up a new EFT program with the customer is we put in there a reward, a salon credit for the customer if they make all their EFT payments. That credit goes strictly toward lotions. And when you look at your raw cost of lotion, it's a real cheap inducement to either sell the EFT or to keep them on the EFT. And of course, we create a selling plan that motivates all sales folks to attempt to sell every person. That's what's good. By the way, selling every person, Sandy Beaches, I like to tell the story down in Oklahoma City, but a 19-year-old lady down there, I believe her name is Melissa. She's probably 22 now, but 19 in the month of April 4 years ago, he sold 39 EFTs. I mean, everyone that was walking through the door, and that's because we made it simple for them to sell, and we gave her a good bonus. She made, in the month of April, I think she made $450 in EFT bonuses, but the salon made an enormous amount of it. Business was up dramatically. Okay, so, and by course, EFTs for you, single salons, not for Kristen and Mario, who are already, believe in the sacredness of EFTs. But for those of you that are watching this, if you create an effective EFT program, it not only helps you in the peak season, but that annuity effect goes through the year, makes a big difference. All right. I like to do a 3 and 6 month flex plan because what we found is that trying to do something on an annual or contract doesn't make sense. But 3 and 6 month, and I think both you guys are on a 3 and 6 month. I think just most of the people that we work with are on a 3 and 6 month option. We construct a training grid for upselling, like we were talking before. That in Kristen's talking about how much it costs to go from one level to the next. EFT bonuses. Now, your people, Kristen, are on EFT bonuses. Just out of curiosity, for your bonus system, how does that work? How do you pay your bonuses for EFTs? Is it different for different levels?
What we've actually done to now is we have different sign-on bonuses. So like right now we have a $20 activation fee, and that $20 instantly goes in their account to use for lotion. But we were doing whatever their monthly fee was. After a certain amount of time, they get the bonus added in for lotion or upgrades if they wanted to do upgrades.
Okay, you're talking about the customer. I guess I should have been clear on that.
Oh.
Your salespeople, what do they get for selling an EFT?
So we start off at $1 for our lowest level one. We don't sell any of our lowest EFTs anymore. We are selling I've got 6 levels, and we sell the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th one daily. And they get $10 for the top one when they do it, plus their lotion commissions when they make that sale.
Okay. And so at $10, of course, your people are taking that EFT bonus opportunity seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's obviously that's what you want. Okay. Now, one of the things I said in here is sign up fee suspension. We have found with every salon, everybody, where even if you did it for 1 month, for the month of February, but most of them do it and they just do it year round, where they've taken away the sign up fee because they want to sign up. And Mario, being of Italian origin, he'll like this comment. I tell people it's like a big plate of linguine. Just put as much as you can on there as far as EFT. You're throwing it against the wall. Some of the linguine is going to slide off. We know that. But throughout the year, more linguine is going to stay. But I like, Kristen, what you talked about, where your sign-up fee really equates to a lotion credit. That's cool. I like that. That's really good, because then you can tell people it's really not a sign-up fee. It's really a salon credit that you're getting. It kind of forces them eventually to be buying a lotion, or it gives them the opportunity to get a discount on a lotion. So I like that. That's good. And that's worked obviously for you, Kristen?
Yeah, it works out really well. And then we also do what Mario does. If we're not doing any specials on the sign-up fee, we will do, if you buy any lotion, we'll waive that fee, but that's just extra sales for us. It's extra product that we're pushing on customers that they'll re-up on later. I was so hesitant on trying the lower priced programs, but we're getting more long-term revenue out of it, and our product sales tripled from what I was used to. So it wasn't as scary once we got into it.
Well, regardless of what anybody wants to say about it with you two, I mean, Mario's up $68,000, which I think Mario is 50% or more, right, over what you were doing. And Kristen, you're up 50%. And our total client base last year, I believe, and averaging it all up, was about 27 or 28% over the prior year. And that's people that had already built up their business. So you had people that were up, 3 salon chain I can think of, he was up 13%. Others like you guys are up this enormous amount. So, hey, it works. Okay, so
So
I'm going
we-
to try to wrap things up here, guys, because we've been going here for quite a while. And I guess I just want to ask Mario and Kristen, do you have other things you'd like to share with other single salon owners that are?
Yeah, something else that I started doing when I changed my program for EFTs. Another way to keep people on is for every successful EFT they do, I'm giving them 10% back. So if they're doing a $79 EFT, their next EFT goes through, they're getting $7.90 put back on their account. Now, that money they can use towards a lotion or a packet or whatever they'd like. If they have enough money accrued, they can pay for a whole month if it pays for the whole month. But if they cancel their membership and they don't spend it before, they lose it.
Gotcha. Huh.
So
Okay.
just another way to keep them. I mean, it's basically I'm giving them their tan tax back.
Oh, good way to look at it. Well, wouldn't it be nice if we could just get that tan tax taken care of altogether? And get rid of
Yeah,
that.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. So that's kind of cool. I like that. Now, does that giving that money back with the TanTrack software, is that something you can do through the software, or do you have to manually do that?
No, that's through the software. If it was manual, I wouldn't do it because it'd be too confusing every month. It just every EFT goes through, their account gets credited $7.90
Wow.
or whatever.
I like
I'm only
it.
doing it for
You're more
the.
generous
I'm only
than I
doing.
am with that one, Mario.
I'm sorry.
What's that, Kristen?
You're more generous with that one than I am, but it works.
You know, it keeps them. You know, most people are going to end up not even using it. That's what I find, because they're going to end up canceling when they cancel. But I remind them that they have it every time they come in. You know, and they go, "Oh, really? Well, maybe I'll try another packet." So you could sell them a $15 packet for $8, and they're real happy with that. They've actually paid for it.
Listening to you guys today, this is really cool because, just when you get to be an old fart like me and you think you've got all the answers, I'm listening to you two, and you're giving me all kinds of great stuff here today. And I hope that people that are watching this webinar, I hope that they walk away from it with the impression that, hey, here's two single salon owners, and man, they're creating a lot of opportunities and creating a lot of more revenue for themselves. And so look at what this has done. Kristen's got the opportunity here now going forward. She can reinvest maybe in some new equipment, maybe possibly, whatever. Mario, who 15, 16 months ago was talking about closing his salon. Now his business is viable. So that's it's cool stuff, guys. This has been really good. And of course, what would a webinar be for me without one last sales pitch? And so it's on here. And all I can tell you is that this is all I do, you guys, and whoever's watching this webinar. And I'd love to deal with you. Look, you can't let inertia and your heads in the sand take your business away, because I'm going to make a statement here, and I want Kristen and Mario to react to this, give me their reaction to it. The chains, the Planet Fitnesses of the world, they're hoping very much so that you keep your head in the sand and that you don't react and that you don't take the initiative to change your business model or to change the direction that your business is going. They hope that that's what you do. Because even if they're running a Planet Fitness that isn't doing so well, or a Suntan City or a Palm Beach Tan or whatever that isn't doing so well, all they have to do is have a few of you independents close and their business goes up, even if they're bad operators of that location. Comment, Kristen and Mario, on what I just said?
Put up a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't let them bother. They don't bother me. I'm not worried about them at all.
Well, especially now. I
Yeah.
don't think either one of you have to worry about that. So,
the Planet Fitnesses of the world, I believe it or not, I have 2 employees of Planet Fitness that come here to tan because they wouldn't tan in their own salon, in their own beds.
well, that's something that Mario. By the way, this is a kind of it's kind of on the subject, but Mario, you and I talked about it one time as the possibility of partnering with a fitness center. Matter of fact, I've got the graphics somewhere in my database here, where we were going to partner with them, not on trying to sell each other's packages, but just kind of cross marketing on email and Facebook and whatever. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to talk to him. I can't remember the name of the fitness center, but is that something that if you still want to do it, I would help you do it with that fitness center owner.
Yeah, that's we'll have to talk about that. I think something is an opportunity to look into.
Well, here's by the way, we just did one of these about 60 days ago, and this is really it's almost frightening, the opportunity. Here was a salon that had an email base of about 13 or 1400 people. The fitness center that was like 2 doors away from them had an email base of over 3000. They had one lay down bed that looked like a surfboard with lamps, and one stand up. And tanning, people that have tan there, they would come over to the tanning salon. But by combining our marketing, we increased the reach on that tanning salon dramatically. Instead of 1300, we're now reaching 4300 emails. Now, some of them might be duplicated, but most of them are not. We're right now doing a merge and purge between the two. So if you want to do something on that, and Kristen, I don't know if you've got a salon, or excuse me, a fitness center around you that you can partner with. It works wonderfully because it really expands your reach. It's amazing the number of people that sign up for a fitness center compared to a tanning salon. They sign up at a fitness center and then they don't use it. But at least with tanning salons, they use it. So, guys, have any final points that you want to make for our salon owners that are watching this webinar?
The one thing I wanted to say when Mario was saying he gives the 10% back, we do like $1 to $3 a month for the successful EFT draws, and then some free upgrades or like a free massage session. But the one thing that I really want single salon owners, and that's salon owners who own one, doesn't matter if you're married or not, but everybody gets in this mindset of, oh, I'm just a single salon owner, or oh, I'm in a small town, or oh, I'm never going to be that big. And when you come into it with that attitude, you're already selling yourself short. You're already thinking, I'm never going to be that big, so why are you going to put effort if you don't think you are? It's really disheartening when you see these big numbers and you see these big successful salons with people with chains or these gorgeous salons, when you're giving it your all, and you might not see those numbers, but what they don't have is you. You are there. You're with your salon. You're with your people. Your decisions are instant. You can help instantly. And you probably actually have more profit and less overhead than those huge teams. So just get out of that mindset of, oh, I'm just a little salon owner. Like, no, you're a single salon owner. Like, you got this. Let's do something about it because you can. And it's just these little tweaks and turns and little routines that you can change that make huge results. I mean, to be up 50% in a year and over just a little tweaks, like, don't be so afraid because it will be worth it and you can do it. So you're a salon owner. Doesn't matter your size. It's all you and you got it.
I absolutely believe what you said. I really do. And I I think it's motivated you and I and Mario to do this because you look at those forum conversations and it just, like you said, starting this out, it breaks your heart to see people's dreams going down in the crapper because they can't get off the crapper and do something about their business. I'm not trying to be too crude on this, but I just wish that more people would, whether it's me or there's somebody else that they work with. And I think something else, Kristen, that you mentioned, I think Mario's mentioned it too, is that sometimes some of the comments on the forum, you have to be somewhat careful of. There's some people out there that really know their stuff. And then there's a few that will throw things out sometimes. And I'm surprised I'm not bald because I listen to that. I thought, are you crazy? This is nuts. But so you have to wade through it. And obviously, being a teacher, Kristen, you must have said, well, I've got to watch what people are telling me. Some of it's good and some of it's maybe not so good. I got to wade through it. So I just wish that more people would spend more time investing more time and trying to make their salons more successful. Well, I want to thank you guys for being here today and being on this webinar as you've done before. Mario, any last comments you'd like to make?
Well, Christine covered it all, but I'd like to add one thing that I kind of try to live by. Life gives us choices. You either grab on with both hands and just go for it, or you just sit on the sidelines. Your choice.
And speaking of that, Mario, by the way, it's something I want to comment on too. In reading the post and reading Facebook, Mario constantly is putting out those little things, what he just said, those little motivational things. I look for your motivational things, Mario. I love the stuff you say. So you're kind of cerebral when it comes to that. Kristen's too busy making money to be cerebral. So no. Well, guys, thank you very much for being part of this. And this
My
is
pleasure.
downloaded and will be referred to, I think, on the forums and on our email and my Facebook page and website, whatever, probably within about 48 hours. So thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you, John.
it's just a start. You guys are going to have a wonderful 2020. We'll talk to
Can't
you
wait.
soon. All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
So long.